Season 3 of The Simpsons is fantastic. It's iconic. It has quotes that people will be quoting on their deathbeds. But it is not perfect. And if you say it is, you are lying. You are lying to me, you are lying to yourself, probably even to Matt Groening himself. Season 3 is where the writers stopped and said, "Oh, we're unstoppable." The confidence is insane. Season 2 felt carefully written. Season 3 just feels like, yeah, we know this is funny, shut up. That attitude gave us some classics, while others, not so good. This is The Simpsons Season 3, a legendary season that occasionally trips over its own greatness. Stark Raving Dad is good. It's not the untouchable masterpiece people act like it is. I mean, yes, Michael Jackson is great. Lisa's birthday story was sweet, but it's structurally awkward. You know what I mean. This is an example of an episode that is remembered for who is in it rather than what actually happens in it. It's still a good episode, just not great or amazing. 7 out of 10. Idealism versus reality. Gee, I sure wonder who will win. Lisa realizing the world is corrupt but still chooses to care anyway. Peak Simpsons DNA right there. If this episode aired today, people will call it too political or whatever. It missed the point entirely. Just like any other unfair criticism with modern Simpsons. 10 out of 10. Wait. Oh no. This is the first Simpsons episode that actually kinda ticks me off. Blood Feud from Season 2 is the first episode that I consider bad, but at least it doesn't do anything that angers me, unlike this episode. I normally like Homer and Flanders episodes, and this is the first one that's honestly kind of a bummer. Were they trying to make Homer this unlikable? Because if they weren't, then I'm sorry, but I hated him in this episode. And that's really saying a lot considering that Homer is my favorite character of the show. Normal pig, I know. I think it's way out of character for Homer to be wishing Flanders bad luck, especially this early on. We're still in the era where Homer actually cares for people and has human thoughts, unlike what he will later become. We're not on Season 5 yet, this is only Season 3. And before you come in the comments typing in all caps why this episode is good and why it deserves all the praise that it gets, I know Homer eventually fixed it at the end, but it feels too forced. Also, what happens in animation here? Why is it making me look at the characters from this angle? That's another thing that I think feels too forced. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, as I know that a lot of people like this episode, mainly for the ending, but I'm sorry, I just can't forgive Homer here. I can't side with him. 2 out of 10. Hopefully next episode is better. Wait, why does the text look like that? Oh shoot. Is Bart a sociopath?
Look at me, I'm a sociopath!
Well, a later season's episode disproves that. But is Bart innocent here? Did he actually murder anyone here? Okay, but I just gotta mention how the first act just has you believe that this is gonna be an episode where Bart just all of a sudden has bad luck. And it's Monday, the day that Garfield hates for the exact same reason. This joke kills me. Also, in this episode, Bart just so happens to get hired as a bartender. Okay, fine, I promise this is the last joke I'll make, I'm sorry. You know, with how many times Skinner has given Bart detention, he's lucky Bart didn't actually murder him. And how could Bart even murder him in the first place? He's just a totally innocent kid. Anyway, yeah, you get the idea. This episode is very interesting, and I like that. 8 out of 10. Is it weird that I enjoyed the Bart and Milhouse subplot more than the actual plot of the episode itself? I don't know, but the Homer stuff this time around was a little boring, to be honest. I don't know, I just feel like there's more going on in Bart's subplot than the actual episode itself. All the episode is just Homer getting worshipped. That's it. The only part I really liked was Homer getting into the dictionary at the end. That was funny. Overall though, the episode isn't bad. It has some comedy, and I can give it that. But most of it is just boring, so I'll just give it a 6 out of 10, just to be generous. In this episode, Krusty gets character development as he shares a backstory that we have never ever heard before, and is never brought up ever again in the show. Man, just imagine how horrible it would be to have Krusty's dad as your dad. Imagine telling your child what they can and can't be whenever they grow up. Also, I caught Krusty and Milhouse interacting on screen. One minor nitpick, however, is that I feel like there's too little plot points to hit in 22 minutes. But that's a small nitpick. I still think this episode is great. 8 out of 10. Oh, we're reviewing a Halloween episode now. Should I change this background? And what the heck with it? There we go. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Treehouse of Horror II is a pretty fun watch. I will admit it's not as good as the first Treehouse of Horror, but it's still fantastic. I love how this one opens with another variation of Marge warning the little kids who are watching that this might be so scary. Except it's not actually so bad. Hold on, let me get something. Yeah, there we go. Monkey Paw, I wish for a Jack-in-the-Box. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Bart Zone is basically just Bart's lucky day. He gets to do whatever he wants whenever he wants. But does he? This segment is probably one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror segments, period. It's just that good. I mean, even Marge gets this line.
Much better. Oh good, the curtains are on fire.
It's good that you made that awful thing, Bart.
I've always kind of wanted a robot as my friend. Wait, is that Homer Simpson? Wait, is that his brain? If only I had a brain is probably the weakest segment of this episode. I didn't really enjoy it as much. It's not bad, it's still okay, but not much happens in it. Which means I don't have a lot to say about this segment. Overall, Treehouse of Horror 2 is fantastic. 10 out of 10. Again, not as good as the previous Treehouse of Horror, but I still love this one. So after 3 years of begging, Lisa finally gets a pony. Now can you please shut the up and just leave me alone about this pony? Also, this marks the 3rd time Homer has worked a different job other than the power plant in the series. I find this one really endearing. Homer works his butt off to get an expensive pony for Lisa, his daughter. One of his two. Shut up, I know. 9 out of 10 ponies. The only reason why I give it a 9 is because I feel like there's too much time spent on Homer working at the Quickie Mart than the actual plot of Lisa's pony. But that's not a bad thing. I still enjoyed this episode. I found it really sweet. In the previous episode, Homer bought an expensive pony for his daughter, Lisa. In this episode, Homer doesn't know anything about Bart. Somehow, aside from some admittedly decent jokes, this episode is honestly kind of bland. A normal season 1 to 4 episode would have made the execution a lot more engaging. The jokes honestly don't really seem to be trying to cover up the bland story, and plus, half of the episode is just Homer not knowing a single thing about Bart. Keep in mind that Bart is his own son. I give it 6 wheels out of 10. Not bad, but not good. This one, however... How dare the title straight up lie to me? It says Flaming Moe's, yet we don't actually get to see Moe or the place Moe's on fire. Yet. The main reason why I adore this one is because of its creativity. Every single scene is fun. I also appreciate how they not only taught a good lesson to kids about not taking others for granted, but they also didn't make Moe unlikable when he took Homer for granted.
Hey, this drink is delicious, and my phlegm feels looser. What do you call it?
Well, it's called a flaming...
Mo. It's called the Flaming Mo. That's right, a Flaming Mo. My name is Mo, and I invented it. That's why it's called a Flaming Mo. What? What are you looking at, Homer? It's a Flaming Mo. I'm Mo.
Huh. I guess Homer really does bring out the best in everyone. Flaming Moe's gets a 10 out of 10. My favorite episode of season 3 so far. This episode was also directed by Alan Smart. Gee, I sure wonder where I heard that name before. I can't remember.
Burns Verkaufen der Kraftwerk.
Is nothing special. Every time I watch this one, I get so bored to the point where I just literally do anything else but watch the episode. Nothing happens in the whole Burns sells his power plant to the German stuff, and the whole Homer being fired stuff just does nothing but make it feel a bit more depressing. I don't know, man. This wasn't very fun to watch. 4 out of 10. I sure can't wait for everyone to be trying to defend this episode in the comments just because it has that one scene. People claim that they love I Married Marge, but they forget about it immediately. And I, myself, also forget about it immediately. Remember in my season 2 video where I gave The Ways We Was a 9 out of 10? And by the way, if you haven't seen the season 2 video, please do not check it out. It's very bad. I'd give this one a 9 out of 10. If it was as emotional and devastating as season 2. Right now, it's a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but it is nowhere near as good as the quality of The Ways We Was. Why is it always the episodes that slow that down that are the best of season 3? The fact that the episode has no plot doesn't take back the fact that I love this episode. Homer bonding with Lisa over sports is really sweet. The ending is also really stupid to the point where it circles back to being funny. I can't even tell you what happens in the end because I'm so confused. Also, we get another Mo Stinks joke.
Here you go, Homer. $135.
I used to hate the smell of your sweaty feet. Now it's the smell of victory.
Ah, shut up.
Here you go, Homer. $9 out of 10.
It's Homer alone.
What, you really thought Homer was gonna be left alone by himself? He's a grown man. Instead, we get a Marge burnout. Depending on if you like Marge or not, I don't judge. But this one hits harder. This one hits emotionally when you get older. I will admit some jokes just feel kind of repetitive, but that's really about it. Also, this is the first time Maggie will sneak out and have her little tiny adventure. She will in a much later episode that I just cannot wait to get to. 9. 10.
Any questions? Nope, then I'll just sit down.
Todd, would you like some mixed vegetables?
No.
What did you say?
I said I don't want any vegetables.
Why am I just now noticing that season 3 is the season that gives characters the most depth? First it was Fat Tony, then it was Krusty, then it was Moe, then it was Patty and Selma, and now Edna. In all seriousness, this episode is great. I find it really sweet how Bart would really do all of this for his teacher. As if this episode wasn't already deserving of a 10 out of 10, they would later take this plot line in another new episode and execute it even better. That's the second segment in a row that I've praised modern Simpsons. Homer at the bat is honestly kinda overrated if you ask me. I can understand why people like this episode, as I do too, but I don't think it's anywhere near the best. I just watched it and I forgot what happened. Other than the fact that Homer is playing baseball, obviously. Not much else I can say here other than the fact that this is probably the episode with the most guest stars out of all of the 800 something episodes. Homer has currently hit 7 out of 10 baseballs. Can he hit this one? There, watch this segment until he finishes. Shouldn't take that long. Hey, do you remember Bart's dog gets an F from last season? Did you want a part 2? Well, here it is, Dog of Death, the long-awaited part 2 sequel of Bart's Dog Gets an F from season 2. Now, in season 3. I sure hope someone asks for this. You're welcome. Like Bart's Dog Gets an F, this one is okay. Nothing too special about it. It's just there. I hear that this is one of the most hated episodes of the early era, and I disagree.
Good, but not great. I'll go get some rat poison.
6 out of 10, that's all I gotta say. Colonel Homer is really boring. It's one of the least bad in terms of other episodes that follow this exact same storyline, but it's still pretty mediocre. This episode does center around country music, and I like country music, so the songs are pretty catchy here. There's even a song where Lorraine sings this line.
I finally bagged me a Homer. That's right. I finally bagged me a Homer.
Despite having good songs, it's overall pretty boring and pretty much just gives birth to probably one of the most used storylines for the entire show. 5 out of 10. In my season 1 video, which is somehow even worse than the season 2 video, I mentioned that I love Sideshow Bob. And now he's back. He will be back. He has multiple sequel episodes to the point where I don't even know if I should call it a sequel or not. This episode is better than Krusty Gets Busted because 1, season 3 as a whole is better than season 1. But the main reason, 2, it's way more engaging and funnier. At least Sideshow Bob is getting some now. At first, because there's a twist. And it actually makes sense. 10 out of 10. Wait, what's this? The Otto Show? Is this gonna be about cars or something? Let me see it.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, the Otto Show is alright. Nothing really happens in it, and I don't really have anything to say. Next. This episode just referenced everything. The episode starts off parodying Indiana Jones, and then ending with Casablanca. I don't know how to pronounce that. Why does season 3 keep referring to Milhouse as just Bart's friend? He has a name, you know. Anyway, this episode is good. I liked it. It was admittedly pretty fun. What prevents it from being an 8 out of 10 or higher is Bart. He's kind of a jerk here. In not a very good way. Not bad per se, but just not good. However, Bart does try to fix stuff at the end, and it works out. Balancing this out to a 7 out of 10. Sorry to keep going back to my previous poorly made videos, but I just gotta keep mentioning them just for the sake of reviewing. But I gave Oh Brother Where Art Thou from the previous season a 10 out of 10 and placed it in the top 3 best episodes. So it's already obvious that Brother Can You Spare 2 Dimes is already a 10 out of 10, and I haven't even gotten to explain myself yet. All you need to know is that I love her. And I love his chemistry with Homer. That's it. That's why I love these 2 episodes so much that it's hard to pick which one I love better. I'm glad to see that the new crew still remembers her, as they put him in not 1, but 2 cameos in 2 episodes, and they were great. So, overall, Season 3 is big, loud, confident, and occasionally sloppy. It has some of the best episodes ever made, but compared to Season 2, yeah, I think Season 2 is slightly better. Season 3 swings harder and sometimes misses it, but that's okay. Season 3 is also getting a 9 out of 10, just like Season 2. What? Did you expect me to give these 2 seasons a perfect 10? Nothing on this earth is perfect. You can still like something and not think it's perfect. Even if Season 3 had way more bad episodes than both Seasons 1 and 2, it's still a really enjoyable season. Here's my ranking for the season. Alright, did you get that? Good. Next up is Season 4, which is considered the real start of the Golden Age. Is it that good? We'll find out in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.